Seth, Suhel Seth, I want to ask you, should there be serious repercussions for those who raised this hue and cry, wiped off investors' money? Vivek Srivastava with impunity says, so what if the stock market fell? So what if investors' money just went down the tube? Hard-earned money of middle-class India went down the tube. Of course, Vivek Srivastava ko farak nahi padta, Congress party ko farak nahi padta. But do you think time has come that people of this country demand that these people should pay the price, and they cannot get away with impunity of making such charges on the back of dubious firms and wiping out India's wealth?
So let me begin by responding to Tehseen Poonawalla, who's kept using the word structural. The biggest stock market scams and manipulation of the markets happened under the Congress regime. Whether it was Harshad Mehta, whether it was Ketan Parekh, they happened at that point in time. Please understand the genesis of the Securities and Exchange Board of India. SEBI was created because the primary investors in our stock markets needed protection. Number two, Vivek Srivastava, who is normally very logical, is now comparing Hindenburg to a media house. Media houses don't profit. I mean, most media houses don't profit from negative news or false news or fake news. Here, Hindenburg has clearly established itself, and it's a known fact, they haven't hidden it from anyone, that they are short sellers. So they had a motive in putting out whatever they did. The shutting down of Hindenburg is not an attribution to, someone is right, someone is wrong. There was and there remains a clear anti-agenda stance across the globe. They are envious of the progress that India is making. They are envious of the economic power that India has now got. And they are jealous of the fact that we can continue to be who we are. Now come to conglomerate monopolies. Look at the Adanis. A port doesn't take 4, 5, 6 years. It takes 12 years to build. These businesses began under a Congress regime. But I'm not stupid enough to say that the Congress was in cahoots with a particular conglomerate. All of this is for India. Please don't use words like monopolies when you don't understand. Each of these businesses is tendered. Each of these businesses is in the open public domain. Each of these businesses is liable to scrutiny by courts. What happened with Hindenburg? You went to the Supreme Court of India. Now, yesterday, Rahul Gandhi has also dismayed us by saying he has no faith in the Indian state, of which the Supreme Court is a part. But let that be. You went to the Supreme Court. You had an investigation. The Supreme Court said there is nothing of substance in the Hindenburg report. You still didn't believe it. Hindenburg goes up in flames. Now you say, oh, they'll be back in 6 months, as if you are privy to their business plan. The reality is as follows. Indians are the biggest enemies of themselves when they choose to be. The entire media, sections of the media, sections of the so-called liberal wokes, went hammer and tongs saying, oh, look, India has a structural fallacy. What you did were two things. Not only did you wipe out $150 billion, you also wiped off the faith of international investors in the Indian stock market and in the Indian economy. That is a bigger crime than what you have done. Now to answer Navika's question, what will happen? Sadly, Navika, the defamation laws in our country suck. They are miserable. Otherwise, in any other country, people would have taken them to the cleaners. And people would have taken those people within our country who were creating this kind of an absolute brouhaha, saying, oh, the markets have been capitalized and the markets have been captured. I think it's a great vindication for India. I'm not even talking about a conglomerate. It's a great vindication of India's so-called, as Tehseen uses, structural efficiency. Because what has happened? You have seen that the Indian economy has bounced. The share prices of conglomerate A or B have bounced back. Look, the primary investor has faith not because the company is Indian, but because the businesses are robust. And we are seeing that these businesses are improving. These businesses are contributing. And some of these businesses are what I would call national assets.
And you say the businesses are robust.
I didn't interrupt you. Vivek, when have you got this recent habit of interrupting people? I've never
I'm not interrupting you.
No, this is a recent habit you've developed.
What about Anil Ambani's writing of loans?
Due to the winter flu. Let me finish.
I'm not.
No, it's not recent. Suhel, let me assure you, Suhel, it's not a recent habit.
Yeah, please
I've never
comment on
seen him
Anil
in print
Ambani
before. He was
also.
always well behaved. You see, Ashok Mitra, who was a famous
No,
communist,
I'm
was the only
requesting-
person who
see.
said, "I'm a communist, not a gentleman." I never imagined that he would use this sobriquet for himself. Vivek, that is. So anyway, I'll just end by saying, and you've got Rajiv on the program. There is and remains a clear anti-India cabal across the world, more so in America, funded, fueled by George Soros or whoever the hell it is. But the reality is, India does not need certificates of structural control from America, which, by the way, has had a scam every decade. What happened with Lehman Brothers? What happened with the crash? What happened to Bernie Madoff? What happened to Mike Milken? So let America not teach India about values and structure
happened
and
to Lehman
stock markets.
Brothers?
They're a bunch of rogues, and I'm
What
glad
happened
one
to Goldman
has gone
Sachs?
out of business. Now, Vivek, interrupt.
Yeah, somebody mismanages his business and the
Well,
stocks
let me
crash.
get